A banana is an elongated edible fruit, botanically a berry, produced by several kinds of large herbaceous flowering plants in the genus Musa. In some countries, bananas used for cooking may be called plantains, distinguishing them from dessert bananas. I love plantains. The word banana is thought to be West African origin, possibly from the Wolof word banana, and passed into English via Spanish or Portuguese. Musa species are native to tropical Indo-Malaya and Australia, and are likely to have first domesticated in Papua New Guinea. They are grown in 135 countries, primarily for their fruit, and to a lesser extent to make fiber, banana wine, banana beer, and as ornamental plants. The world's largest producers of bananas in 2017 were India and China, and together accounted for approximately 38% of the population. So today, we are making banana pudding ice cream with ice cream scientist, Dr. Maya Warren. She's also the Amazing Race 25 winner. I'm so excited to have her on. Let's have her join in the chat right now. Here we go. This is quarantine but cute. Pretty sure I just said quarantine. Hey!
Hello.
I have a surprise for you. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Okay.
I got a phone. I love it.
I made a name tag. Let me show you.
Oh my God. I don't even have on that lab coat today. Oh my God, that's so great. What is it? Hold on, what does it say?
Lauren Aparicio, quarantine but cute.
Yes, I love it. I don't even have on that lab coat today. That one's really dirty, so I need to take it to the cleaners, but I don't really leave the house because it's COVID time.
Girl. I know.
Crazy. So good to see you. I see you have all this stuff. Thank you for the banana lesson.
Yes, I wanted to like Bill Nye the Science Guy it up, so I guess my new show is Lauren Ann the Science Witch.
I love it.
So thank you so much for joining Quarantine But Cute. I wanted you to just like introduce yourself. I mean, you are not only just a doctor of food science, you are a badass. You won the Amazing Race 25. I mean, that's like, first of all, it's my dream to go on that show, but you won it. So like, tell me a little bit about how that changed your life.
Yes, so I am a food scientist. I'm Dr. Maya Warren. I am in love with anything and everything ice cream, literally, to the point where I decided to get a PhD in it. I have a PhD in food science. My specialty is in the microstructure, sensorial, and behavioral properties of frozen aerated desserts, which basically just means I know a crazy amount about ice cream, sorbet, frozen yogurt, gelato, anything that you call soft serve, popsicles, custard, frozen custard, all that stuff. I know it. No-Churn homemade ice cream. I know that very well. And, you know, when I was in graduate school, I just had this desire to go on the Amazing Race. And I convinced my former lab mate and still friend, Dr. Amy DeYoung. She's a candy scientist, so that's even super fun and sweet. And we decided to go to Chicago. We were at University of Wisconsin-Madison. We drove down to Chicago. And we stood in line for about 5 hours and literally tried out for the Amazing Race. And 8 months later, we got on the Amazing Race.
Wow.
We went on the Amazing Race. We only won one leg, which was the last leg of the Amazing Race. And we literally became the third female team to win. It's crazy. I mean, it's mind-boggling. Like when I think back at it, it was 6 years ago. So it seems like it was so long ago. But in actuality, like it still affects my life, you know, pretty much almost every day. Like I am so grateful for the opportunity to have been able to go on that show, to be able to travel the world, have an amazing time. Of course, winning makes a huge difference, but being able to show the world like what a scientist really looks like how bad women scientists, like we are amazing people. You know what I mean? Like all of that combined into one, like it just was literally a dream of a lifetime.
I love it. Well, I'm an eating scientist, so That's what I'm going to be doing today. I also want to give a shout out to the Atlanta Community Food Bank. We are going to try to be raising money during this whole lesson to help others less fortunate than ourselves. And, you know, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's 5 o'clock here. I'm having a glass of wine. So cheers to that.
I've got my water. It's 2 o'clock here.
Girl, does it matter in quarantine? Do we care anymore? I mean, a little bit. I have a little bit of
I gotta go back to work after this. So yeah, I took off a chunk of time to be able to do this today. So I do have to, you know, get back to the computer and get some stuff done.
I love it. We have a scientist watching, Prof. Michelle Zasa. She says, congratulations. I'm a scientist as well. I love it.
Yes. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Oh, and one of my friends, my Instagram friend, Team Tesh Hair, she's on. Good to see you. She joins me on Ice Cream Science with Dr. Maya often. So good to see you on here. Hope everyone's doing well. And shall we get going?
Yes, I'm going to follow you right into it. And I have to say, I've already made this once, half of it, and I tasted it, and I've made your Lucky Charms one because I love Lucky Charms, but this is next level.
It literally tastes like banana pudding, just in ice cream form, which is so incredibly amazing, if you ask me. So today, thank you so much, Lauren, for having me. I love watching your videos of Quarantine But Cute. And, you know, today we're going to make something that we talked about 2 weekends ago, banana pudding ice cream. I got a ton of requests in. I think you actually sent a request in for banana pudding ice cream.
I did.
Yes, so here we are, banana pudding ice cream on Instagram Live. So Lauren and I both made vanilla pudding, we have homemade vanilla pudding here. None of the box stuff. If we can help it, however, if you got to use the box stuff, no biggie. So good, right?
It's ridiculous. Mine is not as pretty as yours. I think I heated it a little too high.
Yeah, you got to be careful on the heat. Yes, you got to heat it low, and you got to do a lot of whisking. I did make a video for it. I just haven't edited it yet. So I'm so sorry. My life has just been crazy this last 2.5 weeks. But nonetheless, we have some homemade vanilla pudding here that we both made. We have some smashed bananas. I like to literally smash the bananas. So mine are actually super pretty pureed. Ooh, it all depends upon how ripe you have them, but I like to get mine pretty smashed because bananas actually have a ton of water in them.
They do. Look at all this water on the side. So why?
That's a lot. Yeah. So you want to get them pretty smashed.
Why is that?
It's just the fruit. Like fruits have different amounts of water. It's just how the fruit is. But usually when people eat bananas, they don't think that it has as much water, water in it. Like watermelon, of course, we know that has a ton of water in it. But when we eat bananas, we don't really think that. But they do have a lot of water in them. So if you can, you want to get it at a little bit more of a puree form. But again, it depends upon how ripe your bananas are, how much more work you have to put into it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
So pudding, we got the 2 smashed bananas. What's next?
Yep. Make sure you have your vanilla wafers. I like to smash mine up a little bit, but I also leave some whole if I want to put some on the top. So I have a few of them whole. We're both using mini vanilla wafers. But if you want to smash them, you can. You do not have to, but I have mine in a sort of like a plastic bag, and then I just put them on my counter, and I literally just smash them with the back of an ice cream scoop. So this is a person, it's totally a choice though. You don't have to do this. Right. And then you of course need your 1 cup of your sweetened condensed milk. So if you don't have that poured out already, you can have that. You need your vanilla extract. We're going to use 1.5 teaspoons of that. You have that already. I like to put salt in. A little bit of salt goes a long way in ice cream. Yes, love your container, by the way. So just a pinch of that salt really does go a long way. It really helps to elevate and boost that flavor. So I like to add just a little pinch of salt. You have your bananas. You have, forgot, really quick, your evaporated milk.
Yes, I have that.
Okay. Yep,
and
perfect.
If someone, say this is just for one person, this does make quite a lot of ice cream, even in the half recipe. So they could just half the recipe and it would be a little more reasonable.
Totally. The recipes that I provide are about 2.5 pints. So I have a pint here. So imagine two of these plus a half, which is actually 1 of these. I have a lot of ice cream containers, so
I love them too.
Yeah.
Those are great.
So, it does make quite a bit of ice cream, but, ice cream lasts. So
Exactly.
you can put it in your freezer, but if you're like me, your freezer is packed right now. Like, I literally do not have hardly any room in my freezer, so I'm going to freeze in these containers today, which is usually what I never do, but I don't have room in my freezer right now, so I kind of have to do it this way.
No,
So we have that, and of course your whipping cream. So we both pre-whipped our cream, but yes, so mine's actually in the fridge still right now. So let's get started with the other ingredients first before we go to the whipping cream portion. Okay?
Can I start with a larger bowl then?
So yeah, start with your larger of the two bowls. We're going to use our sweetened condensed milk and all of that first.
Okay, great.
Okay, let me just angle the camera down a little bit more. There we go.
I'm copying the recipe, you guys. I'm only using half a cup of the condensed.
Yes, so Lauren is halving the recipe. I'm making a full batch of the recipe, but feel free to do it however you all want. So take your sweetened condensed milk, pour it into your bowl, just like Lauren's doing. And this we're using 1 cup. And a lot of my recipes, I use either 1 cup or 1 1/4 of a cup. It just depends. But because we're adding banana to this, which bananas tend to be quite sweet, I lessened it by 1/4 of a cup just because we don't need it to be too sweet. So,
and it's perfect. Like the sweetness is on point, and because I don't like things overly sweet.
Yeah.
I don't.
I hear that a lot from people, so I'm just quite cautious of it. So you want that. You want to pour in your 1/4 cup, which you already measured out, of your evaporated milk. And do you know what evaporated milk is, Lauren?
I don't actually.
So evaporated milk is actually sweetened condensed milk without all the sugar. So both of them basically have high solids, but sweetened condensed milk ends up having all of that sugar added to it, which is why in these no-churn ice cream recipes, sweetened condensed milk is such a vital ingredient because it brings in all the sugar. Ice cream has somewhere between maybe 12 to like 17% sugar in it. And so this is our sugar source in our ice cream, which is critical. So
I love it.
It works.
Oh my God, tell me more.
So next we're going to add our vanilla. So our vanilla extract. I suggest adding 1 and 1.5 teaspoons, but if you want to add less or more, kind of feel free, but we're going to add that right on top. So 1.5 teaspoons. I poured a little more than I should have. There we go. 1.5 teaspoons of your vanilla extract right on top. And vanilla, actually, there are so many different, there's so many different types of vanillas out there, whether it's a Mexican vanilla, Indonesian vanilla, Madagascar, Ugandan. I mean, it runs Tahitian. It literally runs the gamut. So if you're into vanillas, like, you should really look at what type of vanillas you're into because they all differ depending upon where you are in the world, and they have different tastes because of that. It's actually a really cool kind of history lesson within countries with vanilla beans.
Totally. And I like when I travel, because I'm also a chef, I collect spices. That's my thing. But my dad's side is from Mexico and Spain. And the best vanilla I personally have ever had is either Mexican vanilla or Madagascar.
So good. So good.
It's totally different.
Totally different. Totally different. I make a double butter candy pecan ice cream that I use a Mexican vanilla, and I put that with like a bourbon Indonesian vanilla. Oh, so good. Oh, I think we have a question. We have a question, maybe. Is there a question?
Let's see.
This was the most intellectual ice cream I've ever seen. Ah, thank you. Yes, we're geeking out with ice cream.
We're channeling Bill Nye the Science Guy and Alton Brown and all the heroes.
We love ice cream and we love science. We love cooking. Lauren is a chef. I'm not a chef. I'm an ice cream scientist, but I just love sharing my love of science and ice cream with the world. So here we are, literally.
I love it. You're just mixing everything up. I'm adjusting. I love how we're both adjusting our screen.
Right.
The
halves are always difficult on Instagram. They're always a little challenging.
Well, it's because I want you guys to see everything. So I'm just going to tilt this up. If anybody has any questions while we're doing this, please let us know. This is Quarantine But Cute. Dr. Maya Warren is here. We are making this amazing banana pudding ice cream. So far we have half of the base and we're going to keep going. We've got the condensed milk, the vanilla, and the evaporated milk in. We have our bananas already smashed up. We have our whipped cream already whipped, and you don't want to over whip it.
No, you do not want to over whip. Thank you so much for that, Lauren. You do not want to over whip your whipped cream. If you over whip your whipped cream, you can basically create butter. The huge difference between ice cream and butter is all within the fat. The fat matrix is so critical in ice cream. We make something called partially coalesced fat, which is basically fat globules that collide together and they come together partially, not fully. We call it arrested coalescence instead of full coalescence. Full coalescence is two fat globules coming together, but they form a complete other globule. That's butter. In ice cream, we have fat crystalline fat in the globule that creates a network so that they can't fully come together. So that's what we call partially coalesced fat. That partially coalesced fat is amazing in ice cream. That's what we love because it attributes to the creaminess in ice cream. I know that I'm geeking out over ice cream right now, but Lauren is totally with me because we both are ice cream and food lovers.
And so that you basically just describe my muscles versus my butt.
I love it, I love it, I love it. All right, so we have mixed everything. If you want, you can add, again, a pinch of sea salt or salt in general. I just add a pinch to my base. So you can add to my sweetened condensed milk, evaporated milk, vanilla extract base. And Lauren, when you made it, there's a couple different ways to make it. So when you made it before, did you add your bananas into the ice cream base or did you variegate it?
I actually mixed it all in.
Yep, so you mix it in here. I just want to make sure because there's sometimes people will try to variegate the bananas. The bananas, again, have a lot of water.
Right.
So you just have to be careful. And I suggest to people, kind of add as little or as much as you want. It's really to taste. You can always add a little bit more on the back end once we put in the cream, but it's all to taste because everyone's bananas are not the same size. So, right. You just have to be careful. So I'm going to add about
Maya, those are some serious facts. Bananas are not all the same size.
They're not.
Girl, I have too many innuendos right now.
You're so funny. All right, I'm just going to add 3 tablespoons of mine so far because it just depends upon how much you want. And there's no right or wrong. It just depends upon what you want. But again, don't forget to really smash your bananas. I have some whole ones here just to show you guys, but I really, really, really smash mine.
Okay.
So that it doesn't become too chunky or anything in that. So we just mix those smashed bananas along with our salt, our vanilla extract, our evaporated milk, and our sweetened condensed milk into this bowl. We've already pre-whipped our cream. I know, right? So good. So good. We've already pre-whipped our cream, so I'm going to go get my cream from the fridge, and then, yeah.
I am so excited to have you on. I've been obsessed.
Yes!
And
Thank you so much for having me. And I know, we both love what we do, so this makes it that much more fun. So, yes. Refreshing chemistry course. Yay, people are loving it. Yay, yay, yay. Yes, so this is some really good whipped cream. You want it to be smooth. You do not want it to be chunky. So if you look at this, you see how it still forms peaks, but you see it's sort of still silky.
Is this okay, or did I over whip it? Yours is silky.
It's slightly over whipped, but that's okay. You can still use it. It is slightly over whipped. There's sort of a science behind whipping your cream.
I love it. The first batch I did looked like that. Just FYI, everyone.
Yeah. No, I trust you. I know you know what you're doing.
So
if you're going to whip your cream,
okay.
This is the texture that you're looking for. You want it to be stiff enough to hold its shape. You see it's slowly dripping from the spatula, but yet it's not clumpy. It's relatively, it's pretty smooth. You know what I mean? So that's what you want.
Got it.
All right, so now we're gonna get down to business.
Okay.
If we pre-whipped our cream so that we wouldn't be really loud on the Instagram Live. But if you're gonna whip your cream, we just took 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, excuse me, cold heavy whipping cream, and then you're going to whip that in a bowl for about maybe about 3 to 5 minutes, depending upon your mixer, depending upon the capacity of your pet, all of that kind of stuff. So we whip this 3 to 5 minutes roughly, and now we're going to take this and we're going to put it into our sweetened condensed milk mixture. And now we're making our banana, basically our banana ice cream base.
Yum.
So you're going to take some spatulafuls. You can kind of do maybe 2 spatulafuls at a time.
I'm not listening. I'm a bad student.
Oh, you're fine. You can do it however you want, but I recommend, Lauren, that you fold it. It just helps with the texture a little bit. So you do not need to or want to stir it. You just want to fold it. And so you want to be kind of nice and gentle with it and fold it. And then this is becoming now our banana ice cream base. So I'm going to add a little bit more of my whipped cream. And again, Lauren, half the recipe. I'm doing a full recipe, which makes about 40 fluid ounces roughly of product.
Yes.
So it is quite a bit of ice cream, depending upon, if it's just you or if you want to eat that much ice cream. But, to me, you can never have too much ice cream. That's just how I roll, though.
Let me ask you something. So you know how the bananas have all that water and say you over whip your cream a little bit? Do you think that the bananas can even it out in a way, the water from the over whippedness of the cream?
Yeah, I mean, if you just continue to add the friction with folding it in, it'll eventually sort of work itself out. Whether you have the banana or not, it'll eventually work itself out. A lot of when we're mixing, we're adding heat. That heat can definitely start letting that fat kind of relax a little bit, which will make it sort of kind of come out of that clumpier state.
Now we're technically what we're doing with folding is we're aerating it, right?
No, so we've already done a little bit of the aeration. There's a little, when you make whipped cream, the volume expands. So we've already added the air in there, which is why we want to fold it and not stir it and like beat it in. Because if
the air doesn't come out.
Yeah, we want to, some air is automatically going to come out, but we're trying to keep as much air in as we can. That's what it comes down to. When you're making ice cream on an industrial level or in a batch freezer, like a much bigger unit, you really do end up having air in ice cream, and air in ice cream can range anywhere from like 27% expansion of air in ice cream, or even up to 100%. There's a huge difference in the amounts of ice cream. So, for instance, if you go to the grocery store and you take a pint of like Edie's or Dryers, depending upon what side of the coast you're on, and a pint of Haagen-Dazs is very, very, very heavy, and the Edie's or Dryers is very light. So you're going to end up with a lot less air in the Haagen-Dazs and a lot more air in the Dryers. That's why when you open the Haagen-Dazs, you sometimes have to let it sit on the counter for just a little bit to soften. It's just too hard to scoop. So how is it? I saw you taste it.
It's incredible. First of all, like, I don't know, man. If you don't like banana, we got to talk, because
I'm gonna taste mine to see if I need to add more banana.
Because I don't really eat bananas like plain as much as I do mixed into things. I'm kind of like that person. So this is nice because I like that it's incorporated into something. Like, one of my favorite things is coconut cream pie or like a banana cream pie.
Oh, so this is your jam then.
I'm
from
from the South.
More banana to mine.
I said I'm from the South, so banana pudding is like a staple.
That is your jam.
My jam.
I added a little bit more banana to mine, so I probably have about 5.5 or so tablespoons of banana puree in here so far. I'm going to taste it again.
I put so much in mine, but it's perfect.
I'm not a humongous banana. I want the taste, but I don't want it to be overpowering.
No, totally. I get it.
Well, I'm just now adding about three more.
Well, that's why your recipes are so great, because people can truly adjust. And
you can adjust them. Yeah. I try to make give everyone the foundation, and then you can make it kind of whatever you want. So I've now folded in about 8.5 tablespoons of my banana puree. Lauren poured in 2 whole bananas. I didn't quite do that. It all depends upon what you wanted, what you wanted to taste like. Let's see, I'm going to taste it. Perfect. a little high for me, but I think it'll still be good. I know it'll still be good. All right, so here comes the fun part, Lauren.
Okay.
So, as I mentioned earlier, my freezer is stacked full of ice cream. So, I'm using smaller containers than what I would usually use, and I'm using some pints and stuff to fill mine because I just don't have room in my freezer to put larger containers. But what we're going to do, simple, pretty simple, easy. We're going to take our ladle and we're going to start layering in our banana base. So this is our banana ice cream base that we made. You're going to put a layer of that. You're going to put a layer of your pudding. This is our variegated, and then you're going to take your particulate, which is our cookies, our Nilla wafers, and this is our particulate for our ice cream. So we have our inclusions, which consist of the Nilla wafer particulate, the variegate of the banana pudding, of the vanilla pudding, homemade vanilla pudding that we each made ourselves.
We did.
And also the vanilla pudding, I had to make that a couple of times before I sent you over the recipe because I was like, oh, it's still too sweet. Like it has to be like a balance because we're putting it into something that's already sweet. So we have to make sure it still tastes right. So we're going to layer that in. When you see you already getting to work, so I'm going to join you. So we're going to put a kind of a small layer at the bottom of your container. I'm going to follow that with the variegate of my vanilla pudding. And you can, again, put as little or as much as you want. Literally, like, it's, as Lauren said, these recipes are made so that you can just have fun with them. And they're
so easy, and I think ice cream especially can be very intimidating for someone.
Yes.
And this is a really great way to not feel like you have to buy an ice cream maker or a Vitamix.
Yep.
And honestly, you guys, I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's done as she's layering this. You're going to die. But don't.
All right, so I put my layer in of my Nilla wafers. I'm going to come back to my ice cream mix, my banana ice cream base, and I'm going to continue with some more ladles full. I'm going to follow that again with my pudding variegate.
Look at this. We've eaten,
look at you.
We've eaten like almost all of this, so I'm glad I'm making.
You have not.
I'm glad I'm.
You just made it yesterday.
I know. I'm glad I'm making the second half, but you can see the chunks of banana and vanilla wafer, and this is not as pretty because we've gotten into it. But when we first pulled it out with all the layers of the vanilla wafers, it was so gorgeous.
So pretty. I love the way this one looks. The photo with the recipe card that I sent you, I was like, oh, I'm really proud of this photo.
You should be. The creations you come up with are incredible. I mean,
thank you.
Let me ask you this. As a food scientist, when you were getting into all of that, was ice cream just something that kind of like happened?
As a kid, I've always loved ice cream, like been obsessed with ice cream. And I wanted to do something in life that I just was in love with. And I'm a chemist by trade. So I have a bachelor's in chemistry from Carleton College in Minnesota. And I was going to be a sports medicine doctor, but I wasn't really sure if that was like the right track for me, all of that kind of stuff. So I actually ended up watching the Food Network one day where they went on to it was a show called Unwrapped, where they went into the best, right? They went into a flavor chemistry lab and they showed you how flavor chemists make different things taste like soda tastes like different parts of your traditional Thanksgiving meal. So they had like green bean casserole flavored soda, cranberry sauce flavored soda, mashed potatoes and gravy flavored soda. It doesn't really sound appealing, but I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a scientist, I'm a chemist, like I could do that. And so I actually ended up interning at a cereal company, getting some experience there and realizing that I really love food science and that I can apply my chemistry skills, but I didn't really love brain. So I asked myself when I was about 20, 21, Maya, what do you love? And my answer was ice cream. And I said, I'm going to go and I'm going to become an expert in ice cream and I'm going to do what I love and love what I do every day of my life.
I love it. The ice cream you make is beautiful. It makes me so happy. It makes me just feel like a kid again. And I think, especially in quarantine, whether you have kids or not, whether you were an only child like I was, you know, there's always something that brings you back, that makes you comfort and feel comfortable. And this is it. Yes.
Yes, Queen, Lauren Queen, look at you.
So I know that you normally say do this in a Pyrex glass with a top, which is what I've been doing. But I kind of love the sexiness, the organicness of like a tin
Of the
like
pan.
this.
Yes. I have the one I made earlier too. I had in a pan. But I just like using the glass because I have lids. I don't have lids for my pans.
I know.
So,
So if someone has that issue, let's say they don't have the Pyrex and they just have plastic, or they
yep.
have a loaf pan like this, what's the best way to freeze it?
This can be your best friend. So if you
Perfect.
have, I've seen people store it in plastic, like Ziploc container type storage, Tupperware containers. If you don't have a lid, you can put parchment paper. If you have a variegate like the pudding or caramel or fudge or anything like that, do not press down fully on the parchment paper because it'll stick to it. Just kind of cover it, put it in the freezer. Put it in the freezer for about 5 or 6 hours. In your case, Lauren, you can probably get away with putting it in the freezer for about 3.5 to maybe even like 3 to 4 maybe.
Because it's half?
Because it's half. It's a smaller amount that has to freeze.
Got you.
Yeah.
I love this. This is beautiful.
I know, it's so good. So I'm going to put this up and I'm going to get the one that I scooped out a little bit earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to put mine up in a second, but let me tell you, if you don't like banana pudding or banana anything, just make her vanilla pudding, y'all, and you will be very happy. It's so easy.
It's so easy. It's so good. It doesn't make too much. Like I said, I had to work on that recipe a little bit because at first I made it way too sweet. It was just too sweet. So I had to cut back on some of the sweetness a little bit, but yeah. I think it really works now for this recipe. And yeah.
Someone's asking about the calories.
Oh,
Lord.
blessings, not calories. I literally do not count the calories of my ice cream because I won't enjoy it as much.
Everything moderation, right? That's how I grew up.
I'm an ice cream scientist. This is what I do for a living. I make ice cream. I, travel the world and, do all kind of ice cream making and of bases and, things like that. I make ice cream mix as well as different flavors. For me, I don't do the calories. I'm not a nutritionist. So I actually don't even have software programs to even figure out the calories right now. I have some friends that could help me.
Can I tell you? I have something for you. It's a nutritional fact calculator.
I don't even have that.
It's a free website, and that's how, because I do Weight Watchers. That is how I can calculate my own recipes based on the ingredients and the amounts. So let's just say half a cup's probably 500 calories. I mean,
it's pretty rich.
Fat, you guys. So if that gives you any idea, when you think I think of Maya's stuff, think of Haagen-Dazs. I think that's going to be the best way because it's rich, it's creamy.
Really rich, it's really dense. But you made it yourself. Like, that's the beauty of it. You made it yourself. You can make anything. I mean, I've had people, one of my friends on Instagram, No Food Rules, Colleen, she used my cheesecake base and she put brownies and something else in it. I mean, I never even put brownies in my stuff yet. You know what I mean? So you can literally take any of the bases that I have and you can do whatever you want with it. I'm a vegetarian. I do not eat like bread. I don't really eat rice. I get my calories from ice cream.
That's why you look so fit, girl.
And I run a lot. I run like 5 to 7 miles, like almost. I run a lot.
I swim about 1,100 yards every day.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But my metabolism is not like you. Let's just, don't get it twisted.
All right, so here's some delicious banana pudding ice cream with some vanilla wafers, some homemade vanilla pudding, and some banana puree in the ice cream itself. Wow.
Dude. I mean, honestly.
It literally tastes like banana pudding. It's crazy.
I think the difference in this one that I'm finding, and I know it's because I over whipped the Lucky Charms whipped cream. I think the most important step, you guys, as Maya will attest, if you over whip it, it's going to be too thick. And that's what happened. I'll show you my Lucky Charms one. Hold on.
It'll be really, really, really thick if you over whip it. That is very true. So you have to be cautious with that. while you do that, I'm going to finish filling these pints so that I can get this put away.
I don't even know if there's any left, but
The
look
Lucky
how
Charms? It looks good though, Lauren.
But I mean, it's Lucky Charms, man.
It looks good.
You know what I think would be fun, and at some point we should come back together when you're not like running the world and I'm not running the world. I think it would be really cool to do like a key lime pie tart one.
I'm doing a key lime pie actually. At the end of the month, the 20, whatever the last Sunday in July is, I'm doing it. Yeah, it's on my calendar on my feed. I mean on my feed on my page on Instagram. I put out a calendar every month for the ones that I'll be doing. This weekend I'm doing a No-Churn cucumber lime sorbet.
Oh my god!
It's going to be epic. But I'm also obsessed with cucumbers and things that are super refreshing. So we're doing a No-Churn cucumber lime sorbet. And then
I can't even snap my fingers because I have so much fat on them.
So so you did the Lucky Charms one. That one's a little bit more difficult because you have to soak the cereal and all that kind of stuff, but it's still pretty easy.
I love it. And then at the end I added the charm cereal in addition to what was in it. So I added like the whole wheat part as well as the Marbit.
You did?
Yeah, because I need crunch.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah,
So,
you can do whatever you want with it. That's the beauty of this, is that you can literally do anything and everything you want with these ice cream bases. Because, I mean, ice cream, I always say, is a blank canvas. You can make it into whatever your heart desires. And, you know, sometimes they may not come out tasting the best, and you just have to start over if you need to. But honestly, like, you're holding up an art piece, Lauren. That's an art piece.
I love that you said that. Well,
it's a masterpiece. I mean, ice cream is art. If you ask me, ice cream is art and science. That's what ice cream is. And
100%. All food is science. I met Alton Brown. I worked at Food Network on and off for about 10 years. I became an art director and a food stylist. I worked on I was the food stylist for Pickler and Ben the first few weeks to get them up and running. Oh, gorgeous. And I love that because you can give that as gifts.
Yes. I will put that
you can
away
drop that off at a friend's house.
Huh?
You can drop that off at a friend's house and safe distance and be like, here you go, bye.
Oh, yeah, I give away ice cream. I'm out in the Glendale, California area. I give out ice cream often. Let's just say that. And I have to because, one, there's no way I make so much ice cream I can't eat it all. I live by myself. So I give ice cream away often. And it just makes people happy. I mean, we're in a really hard time right now. So being able to do things that make people happy is just so important. So
I love it. And that's why I wanted you on, because that's why I do this show. And, you know, I was a former chef, private chef, and we love you too, Chef Klein. And Team Ted says Dr. Maya needs a Food Network show. Yes, she does.
Yes, I do. Thank you for that. I would love to be able to have a show on the Food Network. There is like no ice cream show that exists. And, you know, if you know anyone at any of those stations, let me know. I would love to be able to continue to share my love with the whole entire world. So,
well, we should talk because I'm in the middle of developing 2 shows.
That's right.
I just got signed for unscripted alternative programming. So I'm in the process of selling, hopefully, this show and working on a couple things. But, you know, it's all wishful thinking right now. So
yeah, but you got some leads, though. You got some leads.
I have food shows that I've done pilots for. So we will definitely talk. I absolutely adore that you were able to come on. I know how busy you are. I love your gold spoon, by the way. Can we just talk about that accessory?
Thank you. Yes, the gold spoons. I have a lot of them. These are West Elm. West Elm has West Elm gold spoons. It's what I actually use to feed, to like, you know, eat. But they actually show very, very, very well. I'm so happy that you guys love. How about your parents? Does your mom, does she love the ice cream?
They're the ones that ate it all. I'm quarantining at my parents' house in North Georgia. I left my place in Brooklyn for a while. And so I've been cooking up a storm. But the one thing I hadn't made was ice cream until I found you. So I'm very grateful for that. Very grateful because I've never made ice cream before I met you.
See, there's a first time
Never.
for everything, and that's the beauty of, quarantine is really hard. I totally agree with people when they say that, but being able to meet people, like we would have never met, you know what I mean? If it wasn't for right now, like we would have never met the way in which we've met. So it's all good. That, Lauren, seriously, that is literally art. It's an art piece.
I can't wait to eat this. I mean, literally, look at this other one, you guys.
So I just made another pint of my banana pudding. You guys have been having a good time with that one. I like that. I approve.
Extra workouts.
All right, let me get this in the freezer. I'll be right back.
Okay, great. Thank you guys so much for watching Quarantine But Cute. I am your host, Lauren Aparicio. This is my variety show. It is on 3 times a week-ish. And we've been having chefs and magicians and amazing performers on. Tomorrow we have Quentin Tarver. He is the incredible little boy from 1996 from Romeo and Juliet soundtrack, and he was in the movie doing a rendition of Everybody's Free gospel style. He is on tomorrow. He is coming out with a new album, Quentin Tarver, tomorrow on Quarantine But Cute at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. So many amazing shows coming up. I thank you guys so much for supporting me and the show and all of my fabulous guests that have been on. Dr. Maya Warren has just helped us make this incredible banana pudding ice cream. You can follow her on Instagram, maya.warren. And I have the recipe for this delicious banana pudding ice cream in my story, so you can find it there. And we're going to manifest a Food Network show, either separately together or guest shows or whatever. We're going to figure it out.
Yes, Tesh, I know. So on my show, thank you so much, Lauren. On Ice Cream Sundays with Dr. Maya, every Sunday I have new no-churn recipes. So if you ever are just looking for something to do, or you just want to be entertained, I literally dance at the beginning and the end, and we just have a great time. So everyone, follow Lauren. She's so cool. There's Heather in here. Heather is ready for that cucumber sorbet. So excited. Heather is ready for that cucumber lime sorbet. So thank you guys, everyone, for joining. Lauren, you're awesome. We have to do this again whenever time allows.
I
know. Did you guys peep her lab coat? She even made a name tag.
I literally bought this coat just for this show.
No, you did not.
Yes.
Then we have to use it again. We have to use it again.
I mean, come on, girl. I got to be authentic if I'm going to be with a scientist.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I should have, I need to get the one that has my name on it that says food ice cream expert. I need to get that one clean because then I could have had my name on mine too. But I love it. You came prepared. You came equipped. I absolutely love it.
I did. Well, let's definitely come up with something else. I love stuff with cinnamon in it. So I would love to do a cinnamon roll ice cream with you.
Oh, okay. I've never done that before, but it's possible.
And I make incredible vegan cinnamon rolls, believe it or not. I'm usually vegan or I'm a chegan now, a cheating vegan. I'm usually a segan, which is seafood and vegan. But since I've gotten back in the South, it's just like meat heaven. So I'm trying to chill out.
Some good eating, I take it.
Yeah, so I've been trying to make a lot of vegan desserts as well if I'm going to have desserts. But, horchata. Someone said horchata.
Oh, Heather, I like horchata would be good. Horchata is so great. It's so light.
Yes.
I love horchata.
And that will represent my Hispanic culture on my dad's side. So
yes.
if we could do a horchata, that would be really fun.
Yes. Actually, you know what, Lauren? If I would have known that, I would have told us to add just a hint of cinnamon to this because if I would have known you like cinnamon, we totally should have had it. Actually, when you eat it, just sprinkle a little cinnamon on top. It'll make a huge difference in the flavor of it. It'll be good no matter which way you have it. But if you're a cinnamon lover, you should definitely do that. This is all I have left. Huh?
Cinnamon is like an IV into my veins.
I love it.
Ooh, that looks so good.
I know. So for those of you who just joined, we just made an amazing banana pudding, no-churn banana pudding ice cream. Lauren has made some yesterday, and her family has already eaten a lot of it.
Yep, I don't even know where it is. I've lost it in the kitchen.
And we made our own vanilla pudding. So here's a homemade vanilla pudding. I'll be putting up the full video later this week. I have no promises for today, but later this week because the heat in this is crucial. If you heat it too much, you can end up sort of curdling the egg yolk. So you
Yeah.
want it to be nice and smooth.
Yeah. It's
So,
beautiful. I'm going to do mine on low next time. I definitely.
yeah, you have to do it on low. So yeah, this was so much fun.
This was so fun. Thank you so much for being here. You guys are awesome. I love all of your fans. Come see some shows on Quarantine But Cute. Maya, I'm going to tune in Sunday for the cucumber lime sorbet. I'm so excited.
Yeah, some good stuff. And we're going to do this again. So we'll figure out another recipe. And I will wear my other lab coat. But thank you for wearing your lab coat. Like, it made me feel so special.
It was a surprise just for you. That's why
I love it. I love it.
When you had to push the show, I was like, I can't hold the secret.
But you did. You did. You did. No, thank you so much again for being so flexible. This was so much fun. Thank you to all of the people that follow you. Thank you for supporting Lauren Quarantine But Cute. Like, you guys, her shows are so funny. Bye. Her shows
Bye,
are
girl.
so funny. She's cut her mom's hair before. She's had other chefs on there making falafel. Like, you guys should tune in. She has some really good stuff going on. But yeah. Eat ice cream, stay safe, wear a mask, and yeah, take care.
This is the cure. Just kidding, but it's really good. It's really good. This is not a COVID cure. I'm just kidding. Okay.
It's not.
Neither is Clorox.
Disclaimer.
Okay. All right, girl. I love you.
All right. Good to see you. Bye, Lauren. Thanks for having me.
Bye, you guys. Thanks
Bye,
for
everyone.
tuning in.
Stay safe.